Live from Arkansas streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us here on THV 11 Plus. Hope your day is off to a good start. In case you just switched over from THV 11 to THV 11 Plus, we referenced that incident we caught on our tower camera right now. It's at 3rd and Chester. Looked like an accident. In fact, here is a live look right now. There was a lot of emergency vehicles on hand just a short time ago. Some of those emergency vehicles already beginning to leave. You can see Little Rock police officers moving a little bit. Saw traffic diverted towards 3rd, and so folks couldn't go down Chester. If you are making your way into work this morning, that's just a bit of a heads up in downtown Little Rock. We got a crew on the way, and we will be in touch with law enforcement as well and keep you updated if anything big changes. But it does look like that scene is resolving itself at this time. So there you go.
I hope it's a good outcome. It did look a lot worse, as Hayden mentioned, and Ashley is following traffic this morning, which because schools are back, it's a lot heavier than usual.
It is, yeah. We have some emergency vehicles that we noticed too in Jacksonville because of an accident there. And as you can see, it's really backing up traffic in Jacksonville. This is through that construction zone, but this is because of an accident on 57 southbound that is off to the left-hand shoulder, but really slowing things down with a lot of emergency vehicles on the scene. We can get a closer look at exactly where this is in Jacksonville and how slowly it's going. This is near mile marker 9, moving at just 6 miles per hour there on 57 southbound. Well, it was 167. So just be aware, you may want to leave a little bit early if you're coming in from Cabot to Little Rock. You're going to be going through Jacksonville because it's already impacting our drive times. We're also seeing it heavy here on Interstate 30 eastbound, anywhere from around the Otter Creek exit almost to the Bryant exit already, and it's just now 7 o'clock. So with kids going back to school today, I think everyone is getting back into their regular routine, and we're starting to see that traffic really increase. And here's our drive times into downtown Little Rock. As you can see, it's looking okay if you're coming in from Cabot and Benton, but 38 minutes if you're coming in from, if you're coming in from Conway or Benton, it's looking okay. Cabot, it is very slow, 38 minutes already, which is definitely slower than your average travel time to downtown Little Rock. It's increasing as we're watching right now, right before our eyes. So we'll keep checking this, Tracy, but yeah, it looks like you need to get on the road if you're coming in from Cabot to Little Rock.
Well, weather-wise, we are still seeing a bit of patchy fog this morning. There was just a dense fog advisory issued for northwest Arkansas area. So if you are headed that way, that is going to be in place until 9 a.m. this morning. Here in central Arkansas, 5 miles, not too bad. But again, with all the kiddos heading back to school today, remember they're going to be at the bus stops and in the neighborhood. So be extra careful. At 57 in central Arkansas, we're seeing a westerly breeze around 9 miles per hour. And around the state, it is fairly nice. But we're seeing, again, where we're seeing that dense fog, we're seeing those cooler temperatures. The rest of us are mainly in those mid to upper 50s, even some 60s already. It's only 7 a.m. It's going to warm up quite a bit today as we are going to see those clouds move on out of here and plenty of sunshine today. And yeah, look at this high, 71 for a high in central Arkansas. We're going to keep those warm morning, warm afternoon as we're heading into Wednesday and even into Thursday, but there's going to be some rain pushing into our forecast, a frontal boundary pushing through Thursday into Friday, bringing some rain, bringing the chance for some gusty winds, especially on Thursday. And as we're heading into Friday, we're going to watch eastern Arkansas for that same situation. So potential for some severe weather, for sure. It's a low-level threat, so we'll keep an eye on it. But we certainly need that rainfall with the drought conditions continuing to worsen across the state. But we'll talk more about the timing and what you could expect coming up in just a few minutes.
Right now, former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife are at a Brooklyn detention center after the couple's first appearance in a U.S. courtroom. Both are pleading not guilty to federal charges of narco-terrorism. At one point, Maduro causing a disruption in the courtroom, arguing he'd been kidnapped and is innocent. In Washington, congressional leaders say briefings from the Trump administration are raising more questions than answers about Venezuela. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn has more.
Clad in khaki and surrounded by security, deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores took their first trip to a Manhattan federal court. Inside, Maduro lashed out, declaring himself via a translator, quote, innocent a decent man, and still the constitutional president of Venezuela, before the judge cut him off. He and his wife pleaded not guilty to federal weapons and drug-related narco-terrorism charges. Their next court date is now set for mid-March.
Both sides have waived their right to a speedy trial, meaning this could be quite a bit of time.
In Washington, key Trump administration officials briefed senior members of Congress on the Venezuela operation. Afterwards, top Democrats said they had more questions than answers.
Their plan for the U.S. running Venezuela is vague, based on wishful thinking, and unsatisfying.
Lawmakers are also split on whether the U.S. is at war and if Congress should have been consulted.
We are not at war. We don't expect troops on the ground.
Without question, this is war. They bombed half of Caracas and then removed him.
NBC News reports that in a phone interview, President Trump said the U.S. is not at war with Venezuela, but with people who sell drugs. The president also warned the U.S. could take more action if Venezuela's newly sworn-in interim president stops cooperating. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Today, President Trump is to meet behind closed doors with House GOP lawmakers. Another briefing on the Venezuela operation is expected tomorrow. CBS News is also reporting major U.S. oil executives are to meet with Trump energy leaders this week.
The first U.S. court appearance for Maduro sparked sharp reaction around the world. Outside the Manhattan federal courthouse, crowds split, some celebrating his arrest, others condemning U.S. intervention. That divide spread globally as well. In Chile, the president-elect praising the move. Meanwhile, protests erupting in cities like London and Sao Paulo, Brazil, including demonstrations outside U.S. diplomatic sites. The reaction highlights deep international disagreement over the U.S. operation and its broader consequences. Here in the U.S., even some supporters of President Trump are split.
I'm concerned about the legality of going in and just kidnapping people, even though, on the other hand, I do believe this person is a ruthless criminal.
President Trump does not speak idly. If he says he's going to do something, he does something.
Denmark's prime minister pushing back on the president's renewed suggestion that the U.S. could take over Greenland, warning such a move would effectively end the NATO alliance. Also, the arrest of Maduro has sent oil company stocks climbing this week. Chevron led the gains, helping push the Dow to a record high of nearly 49,000. Oil prices also moved higher, but experts say drivers shouldn't expect immediate impacts at the gas pump.
Venezuela holds massive oil reserves, though a lot of it is difficult to extract due to, in part, the country's aging infrastructure that would require billions of dollars in long-term investments. Analysts say any real impact at the pump could still be years away. Arkansas farmers now have a new way to claim sales tax exemptions on certain farm purchases without having to fill out paperwork at the counter. The state is rolling out a farmer's state identification tax card. The Finance Administration says farmers can apply for the card through a dedicated online portal. It costs a one-time fee of $20 and it's valid for 8 years. So instead of taking time to sign forms, eligible farmers would be able to show their DFA-issued card for qualifying items, making equipment purchases faster and easier.
State finance officials report Arkansas collected less in net general revenue in December of 2025 compared to the previous year, largely due to a drop in corporate income tax collections. Net revenue totaled $618.6 million, about $7.8 million below December of 2024. It's the Arkansas Advocate reporting. Despite that, fiscal year revenue since July 1 totals $3.4 billion, nearly $103 million above forecast. The state's finance secretary says overall collections remain stable as lawmakers prepare to return to the Capitol in April to focus on the state budget.
And now let's turn to Ashley King and another check of the busy roads this morning. What is that behind you, Ashley?
Oh, this is a big accident that's happened in Jacksonville, blocking all lanes of traffic. So we have issued a traffic impact alert for this morning. If you're coming through Jacksonville, you're going to see some slowdown. So it's really impacting our travel times. Of course, Jacksonville to Little Rock, Conway or Cabot to Little Rock. So this is what it looks like right now. As you can see, just everyone stopped here as they're working to clear this multi-vehicle accident, and it looks like it's going to take some time. I'll show you exactly where. This is around mile marker 9, and you can see exactly how slowly it is moving. 7 miles per hour. Really, it's just stop and go here, 57 southbound. And also looking at a slowdown on 30 eastbound. This is a pretty typical slowdown. It's a little earlier than it has been and a little more slow than it has been throughout the holiday break, but we're back out to our normal routine today for a lot of people here. And 39 miles per hour there around the Otter Creek exit, and Alexander even slower if you're there around that accident. But look at this travel time if you're coming in from Cabot on around Highway 5 into downtown Little Rock. We're in the red there. It's going to take you about 41 minutes to get here to downtown Little Rock because of that accident in Jacksonville. If you're coming in from Conway and Benton, it still looks okay. But Tracy, at least the weather is going to be pretty nice today. I feel like the warmer weather.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day, actually. We've got a few clouds and some patchy fog out there, but we are looking for a high of 71. And these warm temperatures will continue through the rest of the week. However, by Thursday, we're going to start to see some rain pushing into our forecast. But boy, do we need it across the state as a whole. Those rain chances are best again Thursday and Friday. If we see anything Saturday, it'll be wee hours of the morning. Not too concerned about that impacting your weekend. But the current drought monitor does show, again, that severe drought around Searcy, Batesville, Mountain Home, and Jonesboro. And seeing again from the last week, again, that more broad, abnormally dry and that moderate risk there for those drought conditions. So this is what we're expecting from the rain as we're heading into, again, the next 5 days or so. Northwest Arkansas getting the bulk of that. The rest of us around a trace. But friends, we'll take what we can get as we're continuing to see, again, burn bans across the state, and that wildfire danger, of course, expanded in the last day or two, now includes Central Arkansas. So even if you are not listed or your county isn't under a burn ban, make sure you are being extra careful. Again, any of that wind can kind of spark things very, very quickly. And make sure if you see something, say something, because it doesn't take long to get out of control.